grandmother was right. The boogeyman was real.
It's over.
We can't hurt anyone ever again.
No one told you.
Told me what?
Somebody in there?
Michael Myers is alive.
Stop! You had a knife in your stomach.
You and Allison should not have to keep running. Evil dies tonight.
I'm not just gonna sit and watch another innocent person die.
If you track Michael's victims, that's a straight line to Michael's childhood home.
What do we do?
We fight.
Let's hunt him down.
Michael Myers is flesh and blood. But a man couldn't have survived that fire. The more he kills, the more he transcends.
Run! Go home now!
He's the essence of evil.
Do it! Do it! You want your mask? Come and get it!
I'm coming for you, Michael.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Rob, aka Anomaly, back with another figure review from Betomatali. It's been quite some time since I've reviewed a Betomatali figure. I think it's been since Frankenstein, if I can recall, even though I've gotten pieces from him since. So, excuse me guys, in this review, we're going to talk about this piece. This is the, as you guys can see, the Halloween H40 Hkills run that's now completed. Have a lot of thoughts on this project. I was looking real forward to this project in the sense that I'm a huge Michael Myers fan, and you know, the original release of 2020, which I deemed you know, release of the year. I think it was 2021. Then when this was released, I was excited because Michael Myers progressed and looked drastically different. And at the same time, I was kind of eager to see how this project would be implemented. And now we have the figure, we have the completed project, and this project falls into a kind of an odd space. I don't know if you guys ever seen The Matrix 3. Kind of the best way I can explain it. It's kind of like, remember when Neo was trapped in that world that was between the Matrix and the real world? That's kind of where this piece falls to a degree. There's aspects to it that that are just significantly better than the original release, and I'm going to go into a lot of detail in the review. And then there's aspects of it at the same time, though, that leave a little bit more to be desired. Let's just say it like that, when compared to how this character actually looked on film, and just overall some things that I would have liked to have seen implemented either differently or just you know, a little bit better per se. Let's just say it like that. But overall, it's a great piece, and I'm very, very happy to have it. So we're just gonna talk about it in more detail, and let's see what's up. All right, let's do it. All right, guys. So as always, let's start right off the rip with the COA. Halloween Hkills Michael Myers 1/6 custom figure, 19 to 13 pieces. I won't lie. Initially, I thought this was a reissue of the COA. It isn't, even though it's very similar to the original COA. I like the fire, and it does look a little bit more vibrant and colorful as opposed to a straight black background, but I do wish that the COA had a little bit more distinguishing factors from the original COA. I really do, so I think that was kind of a missed opportunity, but still nonetheless a very nice COA. Kind of goes along with the box too, as you guys can see with the box. Very similar to the original. But me and Beto talked about some ideas of what the box art could have or should have, and I kind of wish again we had some different pictures that were that distinguished the box of the from the prior release. But it is what it is. Move this to the side right here. Another thing quickly is, as you guys can notice, disregard the stand. We have it on a Iron Man 2 Mark IV stand. Again, another little nitpick. Beto, you gotta include some stands with these releases, man. $2,000 piece. We gotta have some stands, brother. That's my only gripe. I shouldn't have to use an alternative stand, and it should be a stand that's themed with the project, just to complete the project. So, COA's out of the way. Here's one of the accessories. This is the broken light bulb, and I will say that this is definitely one of my favorite accessories. Kind of hard to get focus on this. It's definitely one of my favorite accessories out of the bunch. Hopefully the focus is kind of capturing it the way it should. All this light. It was implemented very well. It was done very well. You can see that it has, let me get the focus going, guys. You can see it has the prongs at the end. Very, very accurate. The blood work on it's actually really good. Really, really good blood work on this. Again, sorry for the poor focus. The light's just reflecting off of it. It actually feels like it's actually like a real light bulb. It has that glass feel to it. And that's kind of the thing with this piece. Again, it has, as you can see, a lot of different accessories, but not as many as the original. But it's more money. It's a lot more expensive by at least almost $200 or $300. But the accessories we do have are nice, and so that's a home run. And then we got the Halligan tool. Again, very nice craftsmanship. I believe that it's resin. The shaft feels like metal to me, even though it might be resin. I could have swore Beto said it was metal. I don't know, but it feels like it. Even feels cold like metal. Again, very nice accessory. You can tell that love went into this, and we got some little imperfections right here, but that's how it is with 3D printing nowadays. Again, overall great. It does appear a little bit short to the reference material. I have another H40 Hkills by another artist that also came with this tool that is substantially longer than this. So I think Beto said that he was going to offer another version of this. I don't know if he's charging for it or if he's just giving it away because it wasn't as accurate as we wanted it to be. But nonetheless, it's still nice. Then we have the typical name plaque that we get with a lot of these releases. Very well done, matte finish, screen accurate logo and lettering and stuff like that. So really no complaints there. These things tend to be scratch magnets and fingerprint magnets, but with the matte finish on it, it's pretty good. No issues there. Then another cool accessory, which I didn't know was coming with the figure, is this skull with it's already made to have the hand on it, so you don't have to take it off and play with it and risk paint rub and stuff like that. Really good sculpt, really good paint work. I like this. It's hollow on the inside. It's like a mask. Very, very nice. Looks similar to what's being offered in the expansion set, which I wasn't a part of, but Chris Parham, shout out, is going to be shooting his review with that or separate. So these are the hands, the H40 hands. I won't lie. Initially, I didn't really care for them. In terms of the sculpting's great, the fingers look great. I just didn't care for the paint apps. I will say in lighting, they are much more appealing. They do pop a lot better once out of the plastic and out, but still leaves a little bit left to desire, but much better than my initial impression. So, and before we get to the pumpkin, I'll show you guys the other hands that we have here. Again, really good sculpting, details. We got the resin sculpt as opposed to fully sculpted as opposed to real life fabric. Good hands, overall decent paint, nothing spectacular. They do look better with lighting on them, and so just so you can get different looks. And here's another hand right here. Again, pretty good. Bunch of hands, so I do like the fact that we just have the option to have multiple hands, so that's always good to have options, so can never complain about that, guys. So that's that. Again, not as many accessories as the original came with a plethora, and partly the reason why I gave it release of the year, because the overall package and presentation was just phenomenal. Another thing that I'm pleasantly surprised about is the pumpkin. I thought the pumpkin was a reissue initially. This is a whole new pumpkin with a different sculpt. As you can see, has a light up feature, has batteries and a button and a switch. Beautifully made, fully, I'm assuming this is 3D printed, great texture, paint apps. It feels almost like a legit pumpkin, like straight up. Again, very, very, very well done. So I'm glad to see that was not a reissue. Nothing here is a reissue, to be perfectly honest. I think the actual only thing that's a reissue here is actually the knife that came with the project, which you'll see on the figure. So I'm gonna put these accessories to the side. We're gonna go into the figure now. So one thing I want to say about this figure is that it's a completely different figure from the original. Speaking of reissue, I believe the boots are a reissue. Look very similar in terms of the weathering pattern and paint pattern, which is expected. I mean, it's the same character. He's just in essentially the same outfit, just more weathered. He's gone through fire. There's a lot more going on. Some of the most beautiful shoes in 1/6, fully sculpted. You can see creases and wrinkles, some weathering applications. They look really, really good. This figure, again, is completely retailored. I like the coveralls significantly better. As you guys can see, there's no high water issues here. The coveralls come all the way down. These coveralls have a slightly different color hue than the original, and I think the texture is a little better as well. It's kind of hard to explain. These coveralls, in my opinion, look a lot more realistic and flow a lot better with more realistic creases and folds compared to a more cylinder-like look on the legs from the prior. I'll show a picture. Exceptional tailoring by Lupita. As far as I can see, Beto's tries his best to kind of capture the details and use screen-accurate references and materials. Proportions on the piece are well done. This figure almost looks cosplay to me. It's that good in hand in terms of the proportioning and overall stature and structure, which is something that's really important to me. I can forgive almost everything else, but if that's off because you can't really alter that, then there's the knife I'm referring to. We'll see that at additional angles, and there's just the other hand that I'm going to be rocking with for now, which you guys can see. pretty good. A lot better than what I initially thought, especially on the light. And we're gonna move up. You want to be careful, guys, how you pose this. Fussing this figure is critical. If you take it out of the box like I did, it's gonna look disheveled, and you gotta straighten out the legs. And if you want the waist to look extremely lifelike, and you want the everything to kind of flow, you gotta make sure this crotch grabber doesn't ride up too much, because it's gonna make the figure look off, if you ask me. All right, and here we go with the pockets. As always, exceptional stitching, and got a little double stitch action right here. We got real buttons that I believe actually work, Beto told me, with an accurate undershirt. Again, like I said initially, this figure falls kind of in the odd category because, again, it's not a reissue. I was expecting essentially the same figure from the original, literally same figure, just with a different head. And this figure is a little bit larger. The coveralls are larger. They're more tailored, more realistically, slightly different materials. It's not a reissue. One area of the figure that that's a little underwhelming or leaves a little bit to be desired is the weathering or burn effect. This guy just walked out of a fire. So as you can see here, it's not bad. It's there. You can tell there's something going on here. It just, to my eyes, it just doesn't look like a burn effect. It looks like something's there that distinguishes it from the other side, but it doesn't look like a burn effect to me. So that's where this piece kind of falls short a little bit, and that was a concern. And that's why I said initially what I said in the beginning of the video, because it's done so well in almost every other way. Let's take a look at the head sculpt. Again, head sculpt's a huge upgrade from the original in terms of overall detail. It pops more, especially the paint, in my opinion, and it captures more of the details than the original. And I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's a really nice looking head. And the hair looks pretty good. And as you can see, there's somewhat of a burn effect, which you'll see more at a different angle later. So he got the burn effect on the hair done. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done. The only thing with the sculpt is to me the likeness is pretty good. I just think it could be a little wider. That's it, just a little wider. But it looks good in all the angles. Again, great details, and it pops a lot more than the original. So we're looking pretty good in that regard. Let's step back and get a perspective, and then let's take a look at some angles, guys. Alright guys, so here we go, side angle action. Again, I love the fact that these pants come down all the way like they should. The original kind of has a little bit of some high water action going on. It's not horrific, but it's not to this level. That's always a huge nitpick. And again, you can see the boots, very, very lifelike, very realistic looking, as accurate as you can get. Even got the wrinkles or the creases. Very well done. Again, beautiful coveralls. Again, absolutely no complaint regarding the, again, overall construction and stature of the figure. Again, here's another look at the hands. And yep. And again, here's a better look at the weathering. We do have a little slit here with a little bit of blood, and then we get a better look at, you know, this effect. Again, there's something there, but it just does not look like a burn effect to me. It doesn't look bad, it just doesn't look, you know, as intended. And here's another look at the head sculpt. I'm glad to see that we did get the burn effect on the hair. It kind of singed. And as you guys can see, there's a lot of detail going on with this sculpt. Very, very beautiful sculpt. It's not perfect. I would give it probably an 8 out of 10 in terms of overall paint, sculpting. Only other nitpick, besides adding just a little bit of width, is just this little seam line right here. That's a little distracting, but you don't see it because you're not looking at the figure from the side. So again, this is how we're looking from the side, and let's get a perspective. Let's lean back and let's take a look from behind, guys. And this is how we looking from behind, guys. This is how we looking. Again, I can't overemphasize. I love how these coveralls flow. Very, very realistic and lifelike. It literally looks like a human that is posed. Seen a lot of pictures of this figure. This figure is very difficult to photograph. It tends to look short in pictures. And again, if you don't get the fussing right and you don't have it posed just right, you'll get a much different look. The only thing from behind is just this area right here. I'm not sure if that's like padding or what that is right there. It's a little distracting. It should be completely flat, but it's like some protrusion right here. It's probably padding or part of the fat suit or whatever he's using, but again, I'm not looking at the figure from behind, so it's all good. Just something I'm noticing here as I'm filming. Got nice pockets. Michael got a fit ass. Again, you can see more of this effect. And just overall in general, the coveralls they do have some color wash, some light weathering, especially on the side that should have the burn effect. It's minimal, as you can see, but it's there. So I can give Beto credit there. And from behind, you can clearly see the transition between his non-singed hair and the burned hair. Again, better look for you guys. So again, overall, pretty good. Pretty good. Let's take a look from behind. Perspective shot and look at one last angle. And this is our last angle, guys. And again, this is how we're looking from the side. And as we ride up, again, I really wish we could have had a stand that was with the logo and everything. At this price point, we should definitely have stands with these pieces. Shouldn't have to grab the Iron Man stand. Just saying. This is the knife that comes with it. I didn't know it was coming with a knife. This is, I believe, a reissue. It's very shiny, so hard to get focus. A reissue from the original, so I'm not gonna display him with anything crazy. I'm probably just gonna rock the knife. I do wish I could have hopped on that chainsaw that Beto's doing for the expansion pack. That's kind of sick too, but this is a figure that you really kind of want to pose. Excuse me, guys, trying to get the focus. This is a figure that you really kind of want as stationary as possible in order for it to look as most realistic as it can. You try to get all these weird dynamic posing going, it can really interfere. I really like how this piece looks from this side angle on the sculpt. Trying to get focus going. I really like how it looks. I like how the hair is styled. Hair is styled, in my opinion, better than the original sculpts that he did. Again, you got the little slit. I like how it looks. It looks really good it looks almost perfect from the side angles, and even from the front it looks really good. Again, this is an upgraded package. This is a significant upgrade from the original figure. It's not a reissue, and I just wish that it came with more, because it's more money but came essentially with less. But overall, great package. And let's wrap it up, guys. Alright guys, so that's going to conclude the review for Betomatali's Hkills figure. So as you guys seen throughout the review, it's a great piece. It has many strengths. There are definitely things that could be improved upon, but that applies to pretty much any release. There's no one six-figure project out here that is literally perfect. I haven't seen one yet, and I've been in the hobby for almost 10 years. So again, overall great piece. Definitely a great addition to the collection. I'm eager to see how future projects are going to be implemented that require more weathering and more advanced techniques that we're typically not that aren't typically seen in the catalog so far. What we have so far, so that includes Part 7 Jason. Which is a run that was just opened up recently. Beto did say that he's going to do Jason X and Part 8 Jason and essentially all of Jason. So this piece kind of serves as a little bit of a kind of precursor to what we can expect in terms of those more complex applications that require a little bit more weathering and just details by default. To make it more accurate to the reference material. So either way. Is it a slam dunk? No. Could it be better? Yes. Is the value as good as it was last year? Because again, we got, not last year, a few years ago, we got more for less. This we're getting, you know, it's costing more for less. But we're getting less. So in that regard, to each their own. But one thing I will say about this piece is that, again, for what we do have here, it is an incredibly realistic looking figure. You have to pose it right, you have to fuss it right, but it does look very, very lifelike, and I'm okay with that. Got more reviews on the way, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. I got plenty of more stuff coming from all artists. Shout out to Macabre Studios, got some stuff coming up from him as well. Run related stuff and some personal stuff. So with that being said, guys, I'll holla. I'll catch you out. I'm out. Peace.